Welcome to another interview for the Wild Women Symposium that's going to be October 3rd through 5th in Park City at the Prospector Square. Today, this evening, I'm interviewing LaNae Staker, who was one of the facilitators and one of our resident psychics at the last Wild Women Symposium. And we had so much fun with her that we brought her back, and we are doing an extended version of what we did before. So this Wild Women Symposium is actually an additional half a day, which is an evening, which is Friday night. And we had such an incredible response from all the women at the last Wild Women Symposium that they really wanted more. And sweet LaNae was one of our psychics, so that you could actually have a class, or you could actually have a reading with LaNae or Krista, who were two of the psychics. And let's just say the women at the symposium ran her ragged.
In a good way.
In a good way, absolutely. And so the psychics were incredibly busy. And so, LaNae, are you up to the challenge once again?
Oh, yes. And I am actually very, very, very grateful that I've been invited back to come to the symposium in October. And we're going to kind of dig a little bit deeper. I think that this time around, instead of just doing readings, I'm actually going to be co-teaching a class with Jackie Brinkerhoff. So it's going to be fun.
Absolutely. And so they're actually teaching two different classes, and one of the classes is going to be about past life regressions. And so you want to give us some insights on that?
Yeah, so is what we'll be doing with the past life regression class that we'll be teaching. I believe it's on Saturday evening or afternoon. Jackie's going to be doing the regression, and I'm going to be kind of holding the room and making sure that everybody in the room is safe, and we'll be using a lot of like Reiki energy, and she'll be doing the regression part of it, and I'll be helping anybody that needs any kind of help with it. So it'll be a good team.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think there's so much to be learned in past life regressions. I mean, people always say, do you really believe in past lives? And I'm like, well, until you've had an experience of it, it's kind of hard to pinpoint. But once you have an experience of it, it's sort of like so many things in your life make sense, like your little quirks or your little idiosyncrasies or phobias or recurring themes that bother you or movies that trigger you tremendously. And I think it's through going into past lives that we actually start to understand the present, because I believe that if you haven't processed something from a past life, you get kind of an echo and it repeats forward.
Oh yes, this is so true. And I'm with you. Until you've actually had that experience with a past life, you're not really sure. But as soon as you have that experience, everything kind of falls into place and totally makes sense. So it'll be a really fun experience for the women to kind of dig a little bit deeper that way. So yeah.
Absolutely. And it's fun. I mean, it's fun to like discover parts of yourself or aspects of yourself that you maybe haven't fully integrated. So then we also, because of the last symposium, Jackie happened to bring up a few conversations, and the women were like, well, are you going to teach that? Can we teach that right now? Can we go for that right now? and it actually was around sexuality. So in this Wild Women Symposium, we are definitely opening up the can of worms related to the sexual energy door and helping women understand parts about femininity and where their sexual wounds are. And so you are teaching a class with Jackie, which is about healing the sexual wounds. So let's talk about that a little bit.
Yes, this is actually a class that I'm very, very excited to be co-teaching with Jackie on. We're going to dig into childhood for me, and then adulthood with Jackie, and we're going to share experiences from, for those of you out there that know me, I was sexually abused from the time that I was 8 until about 14, 15 years old, so it was a good 6-7 years of my life, and how I reacted afterwards and the stigma that I thought came with it and the silence that came with it really wreaked havoc on a lot of my relationships, not just with men, but with my family and with other friends, because I always had this secret that what if they knew that about me, or what if they found out about that part of me. And I think that there's not enough conversations out there that are a healthy conversation about sexual abuse and about the sexuality and what it really does to a woman. So we're going to dig into that and do some inner child work and some healing that way. And then Jackie's going to dig into, and when you do the interview with her, I'll let her kind of go into what else she's teaching with it. But then it's kind of a full cycle of child and adult, and we're going to bring it all the way around and have a lot of open conversation with it and a lot of healing.
Absolutely. And, for me, we don't realize how much distortion happens around sexuality in life and in cultures. And on some levels, being in America, I was raised as a Catholic, good little Catholic girl, and then I left when I was 17 and I went to Berlin, Germany, and the whole method of sexuality and the conversation around sexuality was so different in Germany than it was when I was a child. And you realize that in America that we have been raised in sort of a puritanical culture that doesn't know how to have the conversation in a really healthy, constructive way. And I think that can be very confusing for kids. And so they sense an energy, and then when adults are so busy suppressing their own energy or they're insecure about their own expression, it distorts, and then children feel it or get the brunt of it or pick it up because there's not a healthy conversation. And I always say that if you have a healthy conversation, then things stay healthy. And if you can't have a healthy conversation, then things get hidden and they distort and they become secrets, and people get hurt and damage happens. And that continues on as we get into adulthood, which is what Jackie's part about it is the wounds that happen as adults that, even when you're trying to do it right and you're thinking you're doing something healthy, that issues still come up. And my comment is we're all human and we all make mistakes and we all get caught up in an energy, and sexual energy is life force energy, and it's very chaotic by nature. And even as adults, we don't always handle it properly, and we don't know how to stay present with it, and we lose the thread for a second and we end up hurting other people too. So I think that the class that you and Jackie are teaching is so huge and so enormous, especially in the Utah dynamic, and really being willing to healthfully talk about things not in a blaming or shaming way, but in a very empowering way, like how do we fix this? How do we heal this? How do we transform this energy? How do we move it out of our body? And you're going to be playing with some incredible tools to help get it out of the body, right?
Yes, we are. We're going to be doing meditations. We're going to be using Tibetan singing bowls and journaling, and it's going to be really, really fun. And like you had said, here in Utah, that was one of the things with the last symposium that when I was doing readings, I hit up against it time after time after time of this sexual energy and this abuse energy that women they don't know how to move it. And I think if we start that conversation and we let them know what tools are out there for them to utilize, that conversation is going to be a lot easier for them to have, and it's going to kind of have a ripple effect as well. So.
And I think right now at this point in history, I see all these women in the Middle East being hurt and damaged and suppressed and abused, and in other cultures too. And I think that it's so critical for American women to become the voice of a new paradigm for sexuality, and that it's a woman is not something to own. She's not a cow, okay? She's not something to own. That, she actually gets to speak up and say what she wants and what she likes and what works and what doesn't work, and to start to cultivate a culture that's based on respect of the feminine. But to do that, we have to heal the wounds of sexuality so that we can move beyond the wounding and into a much more healthy paradigm that supports men and women being able to honor each other and love each other and enjoy each other and experience life in a much more pleasurable and open way.
Yes. Agreed.
Yeah, Absolutely. So anything else you want to say about the symposium or any of the other things that you're doing related to the psychic fair that you're giving?
Um, I just thought I will be doing readings again this time. Obviously, not quite as many because I will be also doing the classes, but I look forward to seeing all of you women out there. And if you guys have any kind of questions or whatever, I am definitely open to any kind of questions at the symposium and can't wait to meet everybody and see everybody that's returning from the last one. So.
Absolutely. And we have some incredible offers that are happening for the symposium. So you can go to www.wildwomensymposium.com. There is an Eventbrite link right there so that you can go on and you can order tickets. And there are specials. So there is an early bird special that is an incredible discount. It's 40% off for a $200 ticket until September 1st. There are also ongoing specials if you have 3 women that want to come together to support each other, or 5 women that want to come together that support each other. So the five woman special is actually $112 per person, and the 3 woman special is $120 per woman special. And those are amazing deals because in this event you get to pick and choose the different classes that you're interested in. They're going to be separated into the subjects of love, life, and light. And you'll have the opportunities to try all sorts of things out. And it's 2.5 days altogether total. And you can actually stay up at the Prospector, and there's rooms available as well as many other rooms that are there. And if you call the Prospector Hotel and say that you're part of the Wild Women Symposium, they will give you a discount on tickets. And so you're free to get a discount on rooms and have a girl weekend getaway, which is what happened the last time and what we highly recommend because it's going to be so beautiful in Park City in the fall. And there's amazing restaurants all around there. So we really hope that you join us for the event. And we're super excited about it. So come play with us.
Come play with us.
Okay, thanks, LaNae. You have a great evening.
The same.
Bye.
Bye.